Hello there YouTube, it's me Tifal Wilderness. Welcome to my channel and welcome to this month's end of month bot haul where I show you all the Transformer related items I've collected throughout the month. Right, I've got a reasonable haul today. I've got like 13 items to get through, which represent, what was it, 11 purchases that I made this month, or no, last month, because there is some purchases that carried over from a previous pre-order. So yeah, let's get on with stuff, shall we? So let's make a start and show you what I got. Right, so starting off, as always, I'll show you these things in chronological order of arrival. Starting off on the 3rd of October, which was a Friday. A pre-order that I placed back in August for 2 figures from Hasbro Pulse. Now, strangely enough, I ordered both these figures on the same day, on the same order, but they shipped them separately, which is a bit weird. So they shipped this figure first, and then a few weeks later they shipped the other figure. So, you know, I'd have thought they'd have waited until both figures was in stock before shipping the item, but they didn't. They shipped them separately. I mean, I do have Hasbro Pulse account, and in fact, I had to renew it this month because it ran out, and I had to go in and pay the £40 fee. I'm barely breaking even on the the Hasbro Pulse membership fee, and the free shipping that it allows me over the course of the year. I'm just about breaking even on it. I don't buy as much stuff from Hasbro Pulse as I have done in previous years, but it is a way, because a lot of the time stuff I want to buy through Hasbro Pulse, I get onto the website and it's out of stock. It's sold out already. That's usually the case. So I end up going to places like Comics and Cocktails to try and source it from there, or AliExpress, or a few other places. But anyway, with that said, right. So this order arrived on the 3rd. It was a pre-order I placed in August for what was it, Age of the Primes Deluxe. Deluxe Insecticon Venin. So yeah, they've finally completed the G2 or the Deluxe Insecticons. I got was it Ransack in that Bumblebee, that 4-pack or a 5-pack that they did a while back. Then I decided to get the 2-pack with Barrage and the other one. So I thought, well, I might as well complete the set. So I decided to get Venin. Interesting figure, brand new mould, because he turns into a cicada. Lovely colours. I love the colours on this thing. The orange and the lime green and the silver. It absolutely pops. He's got like the transparent red wings. Now the wings are a bit troublesome because they're sort of plugged into his sort of waist, and then they sort of on these hinges where they hinge backwards, but because they get in the way, you can't actually have his arms stock downwards. You have to have them slightly at a slight angle. Also, I understand there's QC issues with the wings, because they're on this pivot here, and if you're not careful when you're handling them, they can break off at the joint. So I am aware of that QC issue with this figure, but mine's okay. I've been very careful with it. It's a cool looking figure. Very interesting transformation. In cool looking insect mode. Probably one of the better looking insect modes out of all the the Deluxe Insecticons that I've got. I've got the full set now. I've got all the Deluxe Generations G1s, and then I've got the other ones as well. So I've got the full set. He's a cool looking figure, and he's pretty decent. Like I said, I like him. He's all right. He's pretty cool. Got to be careful with him. We're handling the wings, and he's got an interesting transformation. It's a bit awkward to fold the legs up to form the back end of the bug mode, but he's all right actually. I quite like him. So he was the first item to arrive on the 3rd. From a Hasbro Pulse pre-order I placed in August. So that's Age of the Prime Deluxe Venin. Also Venin, they've called him Venin because they can't call him Venom, because I believe Disney have got Marvel and Disney have got the Venom trademark for that that symbiote character of Spider-Man from the Marvel universe. So that's the reason why they had to rename him, but they called him Venin, so it sounds very similar to Venom. You get where I'm going with that. It was all to do with trademarks. But anyway, Right, so the following day on the 4th, another no, Comics and Cocktails. I went on to Comics and Cocktails to have a look to see what they'd got. I noticed they had a few figures in stock from new wave items that I wanted to get, and there was one particular figure that I'd been interested in getting. I wasn't massively keen on getting it, but I thought it'd be good to get it in as an unboxing video, unboxing content. So I placed an order, and it arrived on the 4th. Studio Series, was it Fall of Cybertron or War of Cybertron, Voyager Thundercracker. Now, this mould started off with Starscream as part of the Gamer Edition Studio Series figures. They seem to have got rid of the Gamer Edition moniker now. They're all and they've redone the packaging as well. So all the packaging for Generations, be it Age of the Primes, Studio Series, it's all standardised now, which is a good thing in some ways, but in other ways I kind of liked the numbering they used to have on the Studio Series figures. Also, the fact that the Gamer Edition had their own subline, I kind of like that, but they've done away with that now, and it's a bit disappointing, but whatever. Anyway, Thundercracker. I like Thundercracker. He's what I refer to as my Seeker of choice. He's my favourite of the Seekers. I like to collect his moulds. I've got the original Fall of Cybertron. It's down there in the detail if I can't be bothered to dig it out. This mould, it's alright, it's okay. Awkward transformation. The ship you end up with, the wings are a bit small on it. But then again, I mean, on Cybertron, they're not really... they're not flying in an atmosphere, are they? They're flying in a vacuum, because I don't think there's any atmosphere on Cybertron, or maybe very little atmosphere. Yeah, I got him. He's okay. He's all right. He's in the lighter blue, which I'm not a fan of. I prefer my Thundercracker to be in the darker blue, like the original Fall of Cybertron Deluxe is in the darker blue, and it looks cooler, I think. But the toon colour blue that they use on Thundercracker, which is the lighter blue, I mean, that's the reason why they've done it. So he's all right. He's okay. So I got him from Comics and Cocktails, and he arrived on the 4th. Right, a couple of days later, on the 6th. Right, now, was it last month? Yeah, it was last month. I went to, at the end of the month, I went to, hang on, where's me notes from last month? Well, anyway, last month I went to the NEC Toy Fair, and I bought a figure at the NEC Toy Fair, and it was this. It's Robots in Disguise Scourge, Deluxe Scourge, which was based on the G2 Hero Optimus Prime mould. They painted it up in Scourge colours, and this came out in 2001. It was a repaint, retool of that figure that came out back in the day. And as you can see, it's missing its gimmick. So after I bought this, I went onto eBay and I searched around, and fortunately I found somebody selling the missing launcher that is missing off this guy. So on the 6th, Transformers spare parts that I ordered off eBay, I've got the launcher. So it's a so it actually works. It hasn't got any leaks. It's in good condition, and this, there's some pegs on there. It pegs in like so. The pipe sort of comes round, and then the gun plugs into the back like so. And there you go. So I've now got RID Deluxe Scourge complete with his launcher. So that makes this figure a little bit more complete. Now he is missing the missiles, and he's missing his little handgun. I'm not bothered about the handgun, but I'd like to get the missiles at some point. Now you had Hero Megatron and Hero Optimus that both used the missiles. They were slightly different colours. The missiles on this guy are silver with a black tip. I probably won't be able to get those, but I'll keep my eye out if I see the missiles for the the Transformers Hero, Optimus or Megatron. If I can get a pair of them, I'll get them for this guy, and then I'll have some missiles. But anyway, so I managed to make this figure a little bit more complete, and it didn't cost much. It only cost about, was it 15 quid I think shipped to get this thing, and it works, so that's good. So a figure that I bought previously that's incomplete is now a little bit more complete, so that was a good thing. And that was something else that arrived this month. Right, so moving along, on the 9th, what was it, right, now this was now this month I made a couple of major purchases, expensive purchases, which meant that I like to have a set budget every month. It's usually around about £400. Now I actually went over budget this month, but I'll give you the reasons for that towards the end of the video. Yeah, so sometimes if I make too massive or large expensive purchases throughout the month, it limits the cash available to buy other smaller stuff, if that makes any sense. So I did make a couple of large expensive purchases this month, and this was the big one. And I got it off Amazon because it was sold out on Comics and Cocktails, and it was sold out on Hasbro Pulse. But I noticed that Amazon was doing it, and it was a little bit more expensive on Amazon than the regular retail price. It was £96 instead of like £91.99. I am of course referring to the Transformers Studio Series 86 Commander Class Constructicon 2-pack with long haul and hook. And yeah, so they did it as a commander class, so you basically got long haul and hook, and it comes with all the extra accessories that you need to make up Devastator. So it arrived on the 9th, so starting off with long haul. So here he is, and my lights are really whiting out. Yeah, long haul, he's pretty good. He's chunky, quite heavy, decent articulation. I mean, he's got joints on his elbows, but apart from that, the rest of the joints are all pretty good. You know, he's got ankle rockers, thigh swivels, double deep knee bend. Hasn't got a waist joint. None of the Constructicons have got waist joints, but I think that's because of the way they're engineered for the combiner gimmick. They couldn't work in any waist joints, which is disappointing. But yeah, there you go. He's decent enough. Pretty cool figure. I like him. Now he also came with a trailer, which then forms the waist section for Devastator. So yeah, this is part of the reason why this was a commander class set. So you get this set which forms the waist, and this is how they're doing combiners now. Instead of having the all-in-one where all the combiner parts are built into the figures and you just plug them together, that then can lead to compromises with the figures themselves because they have to have combiner limbs built into them. They're now doing this frame arrangement. I mean, the third party has led the way with this, especially like the Legends third party companies, you know, like Magic Square and New Age. But Hasbro are sort of cottoning onto it and copying it. So you get all these combiner parts that came in this. It justified the price point of it being a commander class by throwing in all these extra parts. So there is the waist. It's got obviously the massive, you know, sort of butt flap. But that's that was the trailer that came with long haul. So you could say that these two things come together. And there was a load of other bits, you know, like there was the fists and the forearms and the gun and a few other bits, and the chest piece as well for the combined mode. So it's got a lot of parts forming when you're putting it together, but because if it's a combine, you have to parts form it anyway, so there's no big deal there. And so the next figure that came as part of this 2-pack is Hook. Yeah, he's really good. I mean, he's got a lot of engineering on this guy. a lot of engineering, because he folds in half to form the upper chest of Devastator, and the head comes out. The head is actually tucked around the back. It's here. In the way the head folds up into his back is quite interesting and quite cool. He's got quite a lot of engineering on this guy. No ball joints on him at all. He's got hinge links and universal joints, which is really cool. No waist joint again because of the way it's engineered. Yeah, but Hook's pretty cool. I like Hook. He's really cool. So obviously, I bought this set, which came with those bits plus the other accessories which were in the other room, and I formed them together to form Devastator. Obviously, I've had to take it apart for the sake of this video. My opinions on Devastator, on Studio Series 86, Devastator. It's all right. It's okay. It's got its issues. The main thing is the kibble on the back. I mean, obviously you've got first of all you've got the butt flap, then you've got long haul's legs, which sort of like fold up double, and then a sat on top of that. It's got a lot of junk in the trunk. The legs. Now the thighs come down, and then you have the feet where they're slightly skewed out, so the legs aren't in a straight line. They're like the shins are they're not in a straight line. They're sort of kicked outwards, and when you look at that, it looks a bit weird. The feet, obviously, you've got Mixmaster's foot and then Scrapper's foot. They're a bit uneven as well, and he tends to be a little bit unsteady on his feet, but decently posable. Very heavy. I mean, there's a lot of plastic in Devastator, and he's very chunky, very heavy. The joints are nice. It's got ratchet joints and stuff, and it's really good. Yes, it has its issues, but on the whole, I was on the fence about going in on this set, but I'm kind of glad I did it now. It's okay. It's really good, and I kind of wanted another big Devastator in my collection. I mean, yeah, there's bigger ones you can get, like third-party ones, but I think this is the biggest Devastator I've got. I mean, I've got TFC's Hercules. He's similar sort of size, I think. But anyway, so I was quite impressed with what's it on for the most part, even though it does have a few sort of minor issues. Anyway, that's that done. That's they arrived on the 9th. Then move forward again to the 14th. Another expensive purchase that I made this month. Less or so. Now you've got the Takara Missing Link figures coming out. Obviously, you had the Missing Link Optimus. You had Missing Link Bumblebee, Cliff Jumper. What else did they do? Missing Link, Sunstreaker, Corden, and and all those others. And so I got the Sunstreaker, and he's really good. But then they announced they was doing these Arcees. They was doing the G1 Arcee, and then they was doing the toy prototype colours Arcee. Yeah, so they're doing the toy prototype Arcee, and I was looking at these, and I was thinking I like to get in on those, but they're quite pricey for what they are. So I looked on Hasbro Pulse, and of course they were sold out on Hasbro Pulse. And I looked on Comics and Cocktails. Did I look on Comics and Cocktails? Well, anyway, so I decided to go and look on AliExpress. Now I went onto AliExpress, and there's a couple of sellers selling the figures on AliExpress, and the prices were slightly less than retail. So even with the taxes and everything, so I decided to buy one. And the one I went for is the toy prototype coloured one, not the G1 coloured Arcee. So yeah, I got this. Again, my lights are bleaching it out, something rotten. So yeah, toy prototype Arcee, and very cool, very interesting figure. We never actually got a toy of Arcee in the G1 toy continuity. We never actually got one. This is a potentially something that we might have got, because they did do a prototype of Arcee, but they never actually released it in the end. Now, my question is this: if this is based upon that original prototype, what was the original toy prototype would have been, bearing in mind it was a G1 figure, and it probably wouldn't have been the most articulated thing. I mean, this is the missing link version, so it's got a load of extra articulation joints which make it more articulated, especially the arms. I mean, you've got an elbow, and you've got, you know, a wrist and a bicep swivel, which I think the original would have just had an arm that came out, and it probably would have had the hinge to go forwards. So yeah, and also the legs. I mean, when you open this thing up, there's lots of hinges inside to the way it transforms, and I don't think they would have translated well into it like a G1 toy, and that's probably the reason why it got cancelled. It's very interesting. Should I have gone for the G1 coloured one? This one, just, I don't know, it just looks more interesting. I mean, I'm a sucker for the colour orange, so the fact that it's got orange and pink on it, it's really interesting. Very unusual mould, and again, it was quite an expensive purchase. It was about 85 quid, I think it was, from AliExpress. I think that's how much I paid for it. But I mean, I know it was going for like around about 90 quid on other retail sites, but I managed to get it a little bit cheaper. But very, very interesting figure. Reasonably posable, not perfect. I mean, it hasn't got a waist joint, but it's still, they've added extra joints to it, and it just makes me wonder what the original prototype would have been like. It has got awkward proportions. It does look kind of weird, but that's the nature of the beast, isn't it? I mean, you've got to think that the original figure was designed back in probably the 1980s, so yeah. It's harking back to those days, but I'm still interested to know what the original prototype toy would have been like if this is based upon it, you know. But anyway, I managed to get this, my second sort of missing link figure. I'd like to get the Ultra Magnus, but he's hellishly expensive. I want the Nemesis Prime as well, but Japanese exclusive, you know, very difficult to get hold of, and again, quite expensive. But yeah, there are other missing link figures I will be making a play on, but it'd be interesting to see where this toy line goes, what other missing link figures we potentially get, and I am interested to see what else they're going to do. So I've got that missing link toy prototype Arcee, and like I said, my torches are, well, my lights are whiting it out. So that arrived on the 14th. Then on the 15th. Now, again, another expensive purchase this month. A few months ago, there was a convention in the USA. I don't know whether it was TFCon Toronto or whether it was some of the other conventions, and Hasbro released an exclusive convention exclusive figure of Armada Nemesis Prime with the Air Defense Minicon team as the Star Saber. And I was a bit annoyed, upset about this, because, you know, I really wanted that because it's Armada Nemesis Prime, and I'll get into that in a bit. But anyway, convention exclusive, you had to be at the convention to buy it, and I wasn't at the convention, so I wasn't able to buy it, and I'm thinking, oh, it's another one of those, you know, convention exclusives that I'll never be able to make a play on. Anyway, earlier in this month, I went onto Hasbro Pulse, or later in the month, I went onto Hasbro Pulse, I had a look, and then I got an alert on my phone from Hasbro Pulse. They were doing, it was for something else, and I went onto the site to have a look, and there it was. They were doing the Generations Armada Nemesis Prime with the Air Defense Minicon team. They were actually doing it as a set, and I thought, hell, I'll get it. Now, this was towards the end of the month, when I didn't have much budget left, and by buying this thing, it was about 70 odd quid, about 75 quid. I went over budget because of it, but again, it was another expensive purchase that I placed this month, and it arrived on the 15th. Yeah, because I spent most of my budget early in the month. I think all my budget was, I think I blew most of my budget in the first 3 days of this month, so yeah. But anyway, so Nemesis Prime, Armada Nemesis Prime. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, because I do tend to operate on rumours and hearsay, and I get some opinions that are a bit wrong and or misinformed. But this, to me, is a representation of the original Nemesis Prime to appear in any form of Transformers fiction. Because before this, there was no such thing as Nemesis Prime. At least I'm not aware. There was black repaints of Optimus, because you had RID, you had Scourge, black repaint of Optimus Prime in RID. But Nemesis Prime, as in an evil version of Optimus, wasn't a thing until Armada. Now, I wanted to get the... well, I know they did some original black repaints of Optimus in the Armada toy lines. And I think in Universe they did a couple of repaints as well, because there's like that bendy Optimus. I think they did a black repaint of that somewhere along the line. But anyway... this is a representation of the original Nemesis Prime, and that's the reason why I wanted it. Because I do like my Nemesis Primes, black repaint of Optimus or an evil Optimus, I do like that, but I wanted to get this. But when I heard it was an convention exclusive, I was a bit annoyed and upset about it, because I never thought I'd get it. But strangely enough, it went up on Hasbro Pulse, and I made a play on it, even though I went over budget because of it. So yeah, and it's a repaint of the Generations, was it... Legacy, Commander Class Optimus Prime, Armada, and now it's in the dark blue. It's not in the black. It does have the teal accents and some bits of red, and it's got that totally messed up head sculpt as well, which is really, really cool. It's a great mould. It's a really good mould. I mean, obviously you had the Optimus Prime original, which came out last year as part of the last wave of the Transformers Legacy line, Legacy Evolution, Commander Class, Optimus Prime, and people were going gaga for it. It was a lot of people's top bot of the year, and this is obviously a repaint of the Optimus from that set. I can see why people went over the top, really liked it. It's really, really good. The engineering's awesome. You can turn it into the torso mode for the combiner, even though I've got nothing to combine it with. I'm kind of hoping that down the line, third party, accessory companies are going to do a black trailer to go with this. I really hope somebody's going to do it. Like Perfect Effects or DNA Design. One of those companies is actually going to do a black trailer to go with this. I really hope that they're going to do that. But anyway, it's a really cool figure, and I wanted this, like I said, because it's a representation of the original Nemesis Prime in any fiction. Because after this, black repaints of Optimus became de rigueur, especially in Japan. They went mad for Nemesis Prime in Japan. Any Optimus mold was fair game for a black repaint and call it Nemesis Prime. That's where this is where that started, back in Armada. And it's strange to think that now correct me if I'm wrong, but there might have been some black repaints of Optimus before this. I don't know, like e-hobby exclusives or something like that. I don't know. But as far as I'm aware, this is the first representation of Nemesis Prime in any fiction for the Transformers line was in the Armada. And this is a representation of it. Like I said, it's in the dark blue rather than the black, but whatever. This is why I wanted it, and I've got it, and it's really, really cool. And it came with the Star Saber, the Minicon, air defense team Star Saber. Now I have got the original Star Saber. Just give me a moment. Right. So I have got the original Star Saber, and here it is next to the new one. So there we go. I've got both of them. The original one is largely made out of transparent plastic, and it likes to fall apart a lot. The new one is not made out of transparent plastic, but there is an issue with this that I've heard about. Now, this guy. Come on. Sonar, the sonar runway and jet storm, isn't it? Now, this guy has got a major QC issue on him. Now, if I look at the original figure, now on the original figure, you've got this tail fin, which you're supposed to pull out, and then you bring it round to the front to form his chest plate, right? On this version, the new version, the links on the piece where you pull it out are very, very thin, and they are prone to breakage. And I've seen lots of reports of people transforming this thing. As soon as they transform it, that tail fin busts off because the QC issue, the links, the extended loops are super thin, and the pin that passes through them is oversized, and it just breaks. So I am not going to move that tail piece like you should do on this guy. I'm not going to do it because I know it's going to break. It's almost like it's like a self-destruct mechanism has been built into this figure. When you try to transform it, it just explodes. So I'm not doing that. Besides, he looks fine enough. I mean, yeah, he's got a visible screw on his chest, but he still looks okay without turning that round to form his chest. So I've decided I'm not gonna risk damaging this figure by doing that. I mean, if I want to do it, I can do it on the original figure. But there we go. So yeah, I did get the Minicon team. So yeah, they're all right. They're okay. They're Minicons, and obviously, so it allows you to give the Star Saber to Nemesis Prime. I've got 2 Star Sabers now. Yeah, so that one of those figures has got a really bad QC issue, which I'm aware of, and I am not going to tempt fate by trying to move that piece that could potentially break. So I'm going to keep it intact. So that was the other expensive thing that I bought towards the end of the month, obviously, and like I said, I went over budget because of it, because I only had, I think I only had about 50 quid left in my budget, and that thing was like over 70 quid, so you know, I went like over 20 quid over budget, but whatever, it's only money at the end of the day. Right, so that was that. Moving along. Right, next was the first of my, which arrived on the 16th. Actually, I had 2 packages arrive on the 16th. Right, so the first was this guy. Hang on. Yeah. First of my Korean figures. Hello Carbot, the Braves Code Guy. Now, the video review of this went up last weekend, and viewing figures on it are piss poor. It's died on its arse, and I said I'm not going to get upset about poor viewing figures on my videos, but whatever. I have said that I'm going to review my viewing figures on my reviews towards the end of the year, and if it looks like things are deteriorating, which they seem to be, then I am going to retire from YouTube. And when I retire from YouTube, I'm going to take this channel with me. I'm going to delete this channel. So that's we're on course for that. This guy is awesome. He is by far the most articulated Korean toy I've ever handled. Seriously though, this guy has got it all going on. Head rotation, shoulders, bicep swivel, deep elbow bend, wrist rotation, ab crunch, ratcheted ab crunch, waist joint, hips, thigh rotation, double jointed knees, and the coup de grace, 360 degree ratcheted ankle tilts. And he's a big boy as well. I mean, he's big. So yeah, he's part of a Tobot combiner. He's got the other guy, Heat guy, who this guy becomes like the he becomes like the legs for the combiner. Yeah, there's a bit of parts forming involved, like the arms fold up and become on his feet. You then fold the head away and move the other bits around, and then the other guy transforms into the upper torso and the arms, and you plug him on, and then you get the patrol guys, I think the name of the combiner is. But I decided to get this guy mainly because this guy's only been out for a short while, and the Korean reviewers are going absolutely gaga over it because of the articulation that I've just shown you. I mean, come on, ratcheted 360-degree ankle tilts. I don't know a Transformers toy that can do that. Yeah, so he's ridiculously articulated and brilliant figure, absolutely amazing. Transforms into a police cruiser. Very straightforward transformation. A lot of fun to mess with. He's big. He's solid. He's got silver chrome spoiler. Brilliant figure. Absolutely amazing. I absolutely love it. He's got these massive guns. The guns plug onto his alt motors as exhaust ports for the car, exhaust pipes. So it's got it all going on. This thing. It really has. It's easily, like I said, I've had a few Korean toys over the years that have got more articulation than most. But this guy, he gives every generation's Transformers toy and a third-party toy a run for their money with their articulation. It really does. It is right up there as one of the most articulated transforming toys in my collection. It is ridiculous what this guy can do. And yeah, so got him. And yeah, he arrived on the 16th. Then on the... Oh yeah. Also on the 16th, yeah, I forgot that I got two packages on the same day. The final part for Devastator arrived because I ordered those guys earlier in. I ordered the Constructicon 2-pack earlier in the month, but I'd also pre-ordered from Hasbro Pulse the final Limbot, and he arrived on the 16th along with Code Guy. Scavenger. Now, he's all right. However, this guy, he's riddled with ball joints. He's got ball jointed shoulders, ball jointed elbows. He's got ball jointed thighs, and he's got a lot of ball joints going on. And that's all well and good, but in this day and age, I think ball joints, we've moved on, technologically speaking, from ball joints for the main limbs. We've moved on to things like mushroom pegs, universal joints, that sort of thing. This guy, like I said, he's got a lot of ball joints going on. Ball joints are cheap and simple. They are prone to wear and tear because it's a purely friction joint. Yes, it gives you a bicep swivel, but I don't know. I wish they could have done more. I wish this guy could have had sort of more modern jointage on him, like universal joints. I don't hate this guy. But, I am disappointed the amount of ball joints he's got on him, to be honest. Also, his proportions in robot mode are a bit weird as well. Some people have been complaining about it, like all these gaps here, and some people have been saying he's got like a nappy going on with this purple waist section. But it's okay otherwise, and he forms one of the arms for Devastator, so I needed to get him and used him as for the combination of the combiner, which I did the other day, and the combiner's all right. But this guy, like I said, I just wish they hadn't used so many ball joints on him. I know it's the same. He's got similar amount of ball joints on him as well, because they both sort of share the same basic mold, because they've got the caterpillar tracks and they form the arms. So you could say that, but I didn't like him quite as dislike him quite as much as I dislike this guy. I think, to be honest, they could have worked in some other joints, and they didn't need to have so many ball joints on it. So yeah, that's why I'm a little bit disappointed in this guy because of that fact. And he arrived on the 16th along with Code Guy. Right, so next, then on the 17th, I had 2 packages arrive on the 17th. Right, so that pre-order that I placed back in August, where I got Venin, there was 2 figures that I ordered on that pre-order, and the second figure got shipped later on, and it arrived on the 17th. Age of the Primes Deluxe, the 13 Micronus Prime. So anyway, so we got a version of Micronus, and Micronus is a Minicon. So this is his armor suit that he wears, and then you open up the chest, and there's Micronus inside. You can take him out, transform him. And there he is, Micronus Prime, the Minicon Prime. He's pretty cool. I mean, yeah, okay, this guy's riddled with ball joints as well, but then again, he's a Minicon. What are you going to do? How are you going to work, you know, sort of universal joints into this guy? So I can forgive it having ball joints on a figure this small. But he's a neat little figure. He's got light piping. Something this small got light piping, and yeah, and then you get the suit that he can wear. Of course, that turns into like a mono bike. It turns into his cycle that he can ride around. So that's pretty cool that they worked that into the mold. I do like these 13 primes that we're getting, even though I'm not going to bother getting the Star Convoy Optimus for obvious reasons. But yeah, he's okay. And I did quite well on Minicons this month, because obviously I got these guys, and I got him as well, so I got 4 Minicons this month. But yeah, he's pretty neat. He's pretty cool, and another one of those Age of the Primes, 13 primes. Then also on the 17th, another package that arrived. Now, recently, obviously, I've been buying a few of those Takara Wild King figures. I got after TF Nation. I mean, I bought was it Megatron at the TF Nation from Junk Shop Japan USA, and then I went and bought the Nemesis Prime as well. And the Nemesis Prime came with one of the spiritual beasts that you can use to combine with him to give him a power up. But I wanted to get some more of these spirit or these energy beasts or spiritual beasts, and there was one that I saw online, and I wanted it, but these figures are ridiculously expensive for what they are. But when I saw what kind of creature it transforms into, I had to have it. So this is Takara Wild King WKB06 Spiritual or Spirituan. Now, when I do translations of the kanji on the box, I get two different translations of his names, which is a bit weird. But anyway, so he's one of those. He transforms into a Spinosaurus. I love Spinosauruses. They're my favourite dinosaur species. If there's a transforming Spinosaurus out there, I will get it. And I've got pretty much all the other Spinosaurus molds that I'm aware of that actually transform. So yeah, he's pretty cool. Now, these energy beasts, like I said, the torso is basically the same. You get remolded forearms, remolded, sort of shins. You get the head and the tail remolded. The head's remolded, but the basic frame, of the thing is exactly the same. They're all the same. They all transform. They all articulate the same. But the prices of these things is ridiculous. You go onto eBay, and they're a Japanese exclusive, so that's part of the problem. They're Japanese exclusive, so you have to buy them through Japanese sellers. Japanese sellers are offering them at a wild range of prices. I mean, I can't remember how much I paid for this. I'm sure it was like it was like 25-30 quid I paid for this with the shipping and everything, but I've seen them go for, as people asking a lot more, especially for this guy in particular. He goes for a lot of money. I'd like to get more of these figures. I mean, I'd like to get enough of these energy beasts or spiritual animals to give Nemesis Prime and Megatron a full set of 4 or 5 figures so they can be fully combined up. That's what I'd like to do. But it's very expensive to get these things, and they're very awkward to buy because they're Japanese exclusives. You have to buy them from Japan. Bit of a pain actually, but other than that, decent figure, reasonably posable for what it is. They're kind of limited. Parts forming to transform it, all that stuff. But and they can transform to combine with the Megatron or the what's it, so they can form an arm or a leg or a weapon or whatever. They're quite universal in that respect. But the molds are very, very similar. They do basically the same thing. They just change a few colours and a few molded bits and get a new character. But got him. He's all right. But like I said, I would prefer if these things were more readily available and a little bit cheaper. But it is what it is. They're a Japanese exclusive. Right, so so that was the stuff that arrived on the 17th. So we're now going to wrap this video up. The final arrival, which is my second Korean toy. Now this Korean toy, my Korean figures were slightly delayed this month. Now I know there was a public holiday in South Korea at the beginning of the month, which probably led to some of the delays. I mean, this guy, he got a shipping delay of a couple of days before he got shipped out. But the other figure that I ordered, I bought it from the same seller, and it was 14 days before they dispatched it from the point of sale. I ordered it on the 1st and they didn't dispatch it until the 14th. That's outrageous. It was like 2 full weeks before they actually shipped it out. I was a bit disappointed. But anyway, he finally arrived. Tobot 2025 or Dado Hero Season 3, Tobot Pop. And he's a brand new character for the new Tobot series. He's really, really cool. I've done a review on it. It's going up tomorrow. I would appreciate it if you'd give that video some views, some love, because it needs it. Like I said, this guy, the review for this guy died on its arse. I says I would like this guy to get a few more views. 60-70 views in the first 24 hours would be great. Over 100 views by the end of the calendar week, that would be fantastic. But it's going to be the first video I'm going to do next month, as in November. Done a review on this guy. He's decently posable. He turns into like a drop top sports car. The gimmick with this guy is that the Carbot, the Coroid, this guy, he can drive the car. He can drive his own alt mode. It's an interesting trick that this guy can pull off. Also in the show, he's a pop star as well. That's why he's got like a microphone. He likes dancing and performing. And his debut episode, when he has his debut fight with the enemy, he's really cool. He starts breaking out the Tobot theme tune, and then one of the bad guys hits him, and he does the Team Rocket when he gets blasted off. It's absolutely funny. But anyway, it's a decent figure. Yeah, so there we go. Like I said, the review's going up tomorrow, so I appreciate it if people watch it. Also, this will probably be the last Tobot that I buy, because from what I understand, Season 3 of Dado Heroes is going to be the final Tobot series. They've only done one more figure after this, which is that 6-bot combiner, which I'm not interested in getting. So I think this is going to be the last Tobot figure I buy for the foreseeable future, but we'll have to wait and see. So there he is, Tobot 2025 or Tobot Dado Heroes Season 3, Tobot Pop. And here's the last thing I got this month. So there you have it. There's my haul this month. Quite a variety of items. Got some pretty cool stuff. Now, we do that usual thing that I do at the end of the first and worst, and I've pretty much got it figured out this month. it was a bit of a head scratcher, but when I messed with the figures, it made my mind up for me. So here we go. First and worst. Well, starting with the worst. This guy. Like I said, I don't hate this guy, but the ball joints. It just disappointed me, the amount of ball joints that this guy's got on him, and I would have liked to have seen a bit more modern, you know, sort of engineered jointage. I'd like to have seen some mushroom pegs or some pivots or some universal joints or whatever. But ball joints. Disappointing. And that's the reason why I decided to make it the worst bot I got this month. I don't hate this thing. It's still a decent figure in itself. It forms the limb for the combiner okay. But like I said, I just wish the ball joint thing and also the proportions in the robot mode were a little bit off. But that's neither here nor there. But that's why I made him my least favourite thing that I got this month. And then Code Guy. What can you say? This thing's outstanding. It's amazing what this thing can do. I mean, like I said, you know, he's got it all going on. But this guy's a combiner. He's got his mate who combines with him to form an even bigger robot, which I will be getting tomorrow. I'll be ordering it tomorrow because, you know, this is going out on the 31st, even though I'm actually filming it on the 30th. So I'm filming it the day before because I might have to do some overtime at work tomorrow. So I think as I got the day off work today, I thought I'd get this video done. But anyway, Code Guy, he is amazing and easily the best thing I got this month. So that's it. That's been my end of month bot haul for October 2025. Hopefully you've watched this video. I'd appreciate it if you would support my videos, any video that I do, the Korean toy reviews, the my unboxing videos, or my end of month bot haul videos, which is what I do on this channel. I'd appreciate it if you give me support and watch my videos. I know I'm not to everyone's taste. The fact that I face the camera when I talk to you is probably putting a lot of people off, but it's just the way I do things, I'm afraid. But anyway, I've been Twofold Wilderness. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. I will catch you all next time. Goodbye.